An animation studio in the Japanese city of Kyoto was set on fire on Thursday, killing 33 people and injuring 36. Police suspect it was an arson attack by a 41-year-old man who was seen pouring gasoline over the entrance to the first floor of the Kyoto Animation studio. The suspect was carrying gasoline cans, kitchen knives, and a hammer. According to witnesses, he screamed, "You die," before igniting the gasoline. The suspect is currently in hospital with serious burns. 74 people were inside the studio at the time of the blaze, which was only extinguished by the authorities after 5 hours.
As most of you know by now, Japan has recently encountered one of its worst mass killing in 2 decades. Just a few days ago, our beloved Kyoto Animation was attacked by a 41-year-old arsonist, which I'm not going to name. KyoAni is one of my most beloved animation studios to exist, and this tragedy has left me, and I'm sure many of us, heartbroken. Kyoto Animation has brought so much joy to me. I'm sure even to all of you. It started back in the early 1980s and released its first anime, Full Metal Panic, back in 2003. Since then, it made its mark as one of the best animation studios out there. Do you remember just about 3 years ago? KyoAni taught us many life lessons when it brought us undeniably one of the most genuine anime films ever created. That film taught us sympathy, empathy, and taught us that we shouldn't fight against society, but embrace it. It taught us that life doesn't come without hardships, that no one is perfect, and that's fine. But we should all learn to empathize for ourselves and the people around us. Not to make society perfect, but to make it more forgiving and accepting to those that are less fortunate. KyoAni taught us many of these important life lessons when it brought us the emotional Koe no Katachi, with one of the most gorgeous and expressive visuals I have ever seen. Then afterwards, it brought to us what I felt was one of the most beautiful animes ever created, Violet Evergarden. Beyond its stunning visuals and amazing soundtracks, it taught us how to empathize and evoked many sentiments which we know were real, yet were directed to fiction. Somehow I felt that it was telling us, hey, it's fine to feel sad over something that isn't real, because that feeling of empathy towards the character, that feeling, it's real, and that's what matters. It told us to be free in our emotion, to not let what should be dictate what will be. Norms shouldn't be the chains controlling your emotions. And that progressive development from Violet Evergarden was just perfect. It slowly progressed and made me feel like I was genuinely connected with the character, subconsciously making me amass these heartfelt emotions of empathy toward her. And finally, well, it just happened. And let's not forget the other amazing anime created by KyoAni. Just Before Koe no Katachi was one of the cutest anime characters that I know. I was blessed enough to witness something so precious being introduced into our community. And if not for KyoAni, I wouldn't have had that blessed feeling 2 years ago. And we had 2 of the most casual, yet sophisticated, well-liked, and amazing anime, Haruhi Suzumiya and Lucky Star, where one focuses on celebrating and embracing modern anime culture, while the other focuses on analyzing and embracing anime culture at its core. These 2 anime were like 2 sides of the same coin. I felt like watching these 2 anime really allowed you to connect and appreciate the culture of anime better. And I thank Kyoto Animation for introducing these 2 gems to us. I honestly feel grateful toward them. And what about Free, K-On, Planet, and even Liz and the Bluebird? Who could have forgotten those? Beyond the Boundary, Tamako Market, Nichijou, Amagi Brilliant Park, Hyoka, which even got a live-action adaptation even if it wasn't superb. Those were great anime that KyoAni made, which no doubt cemented themselves in my life and surely some of yours too. Sure, KyoAni has one or two debatable good or bad anime, but it's great in its own right. Otherwise, why would so many of us have such high expectations from this studio whenever an anime is about to be released? I'd like to use this video to send my heartfelt condolences to the family of those that sadly didn't make it, and encourage those that did to persevere. I humbly thank the deceased animators, directors, and talented staff for their amazing contributions to our anime community. I'd like to also thank those that got caught up in the tragedy, and all in all I wanted to say was our hearts and voices are with you. Pray for KyoAni.